Hello, billionaires. I hope you're doing well. And if you have interacted with a lot of insurance agents, you already know by now that an endowment investment is the highest or the most superior investment plan you can have in an insurance firm. I am therefore going to tell you about endowment investment. It's 100% safe. Hey, nice to go. So, if you've not heard about the word endowment already, you're already missing out. But don't worry, that is why I'm here. So let's talk about endowment. What is endowment? What is life insurance? Because endowment investment is part of life insurance investment. And let's talk about long-term investment. So endowment is a kind of investment plan that gives you really good return. It is categorized under long-term kind of investment. You can have a long-term kind of investment from 10 years, 15, 20, and 25 is the maximum. All right. 90% of people have interacted with liked the 10-year idea. They don't like above 15 years. Some I know 15, but I don't think I've had somebody, oh yeah, I have sold to somebody who told me, give me the longest. I've worked for like 10 years and I've not done anything with my life. Give me the longest. I want to retire well at least. So this endowment plan, let's talk about, it has life insurance aspect and it has investment aspect, but I'll talk about the investment aspect of it first. So we have already said it is a 10-year plan, 15, 20, or 25, but let's talk about the 10-year plan. So this plan, you'll be running it for 10 years. Mostly, we encourage you to use this plan in two ways, or I encourage you to use this plan in two ways. Number one, you can use it as a vehicle towards what you want to achieve. What do you desire when you're 10 years older? At your 36, at your 46, at your 56, at your 66, what do you desire? How much would it cost you if you're retiring at 66? How much do you want at retirement? Is it 10 million? Is it 20? I know I have a client who wants 50 million, not at retirement, but at 52 years. He wants to do apartments and he do not want to use loan. That is also a good way to go about it. What do you desire? Let's use my goal because it's me who is on this side. I desire a house of my own. So I'm already using the circle to help me acquire a piece of land. But this house that I want to build, how much do I think it is going to cost me? Maybe it will cost me like 5 million or 10 million, depending. So let's use 5 million because with 5 million, you can have a decent home. If my house is going to cost me 5 million, bala nijidanganye, with 5 million, let me save in a money market kila mwezi 41,600. Na ninajua tu hiyo pesa itaniumiza. Ama if I save that money, I could hit 1 year and get a need. Because when money is there, even people in the village will start swallowing spoons so that you can send money. I mean, reason to spend that money will always be there unless you're very, very disciplined. But 10 years putting money somewhere that you know very well is accessible is a bit hard. So this is why I'm recommending an endowment plan. Okay? So with this endowment, with a good return I mean about 40 to 43% of your money every year for the 10 years. Why 40 to 43? Because your age is an aspect, and I'll come about age aspect as we go on. So let me just use 40% of your money. What do I mean? Somebody who is looking to earn around 5 million or 5.1, you don't need to do 41,000 every year. You only need to do 30K every month. So, I mean 41 every month. You only need to do 30,000 every month. With 30 per year, you'll be able to do 360,000 and 3.6 by the time 10 years zinaisha. With 3.6, we're able to pay you up to 5 5.1 million, or from 5 million up to 5.1 is the maximum. The younger you are, the higher the return. Okay, so imagine, instead of me waiting for 5 million to come down like rain, kumbe I can set aside just 30,000 from my income and be able to get this house that I so much desire. What do you desire? Maybe it's a factory that you know will cost you 50 million. Don't sit and wait. If you can set aside 300,000, do that right now. With the endowment plan, you'll be able to get your 50 million upon maturity of this plan. You realize the return is very, very good. Let's take simple mathematics. Okay? Simple mathematics, I mean, with 5 million, my money is 3.6. What's the difference between 5 million minus 3.6? That's about, is it 1.4? Yes, that's 1.4. 1.4 divided by 10 years. That's about 140,000 every year, right? I hope you're doing the math with me. 140,000, remember this is your money working for you after investing 360,000 shillings. Even if you had a piece of land that you bought and in a month's time it appreciated, or in a few months time it appreciated and you sold at 500,000 and it bought 360. Isn't that a good return? That's a wonderful return. I'm a landowner, and if I get such a deal, I'd sell it immediately, if it's within a year's time or 2 years time, because I see it has appreciated and I can still buy another one and resell. So, but I know buying and selling land is not that easy, especially disposing land if you have only one. But that's beside the point. Tuko hapa kwa endowment. This is a very good passive income. The return already is amazing. Number two, the discipline in saving. Why discipline? Unlike money market where you decide, this month like a 50K, next month like 100 bob. This you must deposit every month. And if you do not deposit, somebody will call you to remind you, hey Maggie, this month you did not deposit your 30K. Will you kindly do so? Yes. Those people are called your financial advisors or your accountability partners. May I call myself accountability partners to my client. I'm only your financial advisor if you have we've not done business yet. But if we've done business, I am your accountability partner. And I like to remind you, hey, this was your goal when you started. Hey, this is what you wanted to achieve. Why have we stopped? What challenge are you going through? What can we do about it? All right? So that is, we've talked about the good return as an investment part of this plan. We've also talked about the discipline aspect of it. This plan also gives you a loan, guys. Imagine without guarantors from the third year, we're able to give you up to 2/3 of your money. It's a self-guarantee loan without having to come to the office. You don't need to know where the office is, without having to fill forms. You only need your phone plus 2 minutes of your time, and you can access good money and be able to trade or do business with it. And also the interest is minimal. It's 16% on reducing balance. Those people who do not understand what reducing balance is, reducing balance means the faster you pay that money, the little the interest that you pay. That means the interest per month is 1.33. For example, if I borrow 20,000, I am able to return that money with around 260 shilling. Imagine if I pay within a month. 20,260. Have you tried mobile banking? Not mobile banking, taking a loan from your app, from your bank. They'll deduct 10% upfront. So if you borrow 20K, you are sent for 18,000 and you're expected to pay 20,000, which is better. Losing 2K or paying with 295 or 260 interest. Here to 60 only if you're disciplined in paying in loan repayment. So that's the another aspect, that aspect, loan aspect. You say my investment discipline and a loan aspect. I want to include life insurance part of this plan. A lot of people don't understand life insurance, so I'll use simple languages to explain. Life insurance is what takes up the economic value of a person. What do I mean? If you're not there, Who would suffer financial loss? Maybe it's your children, your spouse, maybe parents, siblings, all of them. Those people, we can call them your dependents. Those people who look up to you financially, those are the people who are likely to suffer most in case you're not there. So this plan, unlike money market where in case we lose a client, we pay the money that they had saved plus the interest to the client, to the next of kin. The circle will do the same. Bank has a long process. This plan don't return your money. We compensate. What does compensation mean? If you had saved more than 6 months, we don't return your 6 months or your 7 months contribution. We compensate, for example, of course there are levels. For example, against somebody doing 30,000 and we paying them 5.1 upon maturity. Their life insurance is 3.2 million. This is how much we'll pay in case we lose a client in the first 1 year, as long as we mamaliza 6 months. Okay? We pray that God helps us survive the term, but let's also not run away from reality. Suppose we lose a client on the 8th month. How much has that client contributed? 30 times 30k times 8 months, so that's about 240. Then we pay 3.2 million. Is there comparison? No comparison. Why is life insurance good or important, or you should have it? Anyone who has any kind of dependence, kama mshahara yako munakulanga na mtu, kama mshahara yako unatumanga home, kama mshahara yako inaenanga kwa school fees nyingine, kama mshahara yako inanunuanga chakula ambayo sio ya tumbo yako peke yako, you have a dependent and you need life insurance, because those people would suffer financial loss in case you're not there. So we compensate the family with that 3.6 if it is year 1. Year 2 ikifika, of course we have already launched bonus for year 1. So inakuwa that amount is called sum assured 3.2 plus bonus of year 1. Kama tuko year 3 plus bonus ya year 2. Kama sasa ni year 10, it means ni wewe tunalipa hiyo 5 million because you have survived the term, and we praise God and say hallelujah. So, my darling, if you're asking where you can put your money without having to access it, if you're asking which plan will give me discipline and I can still borrow from it without needing guarantors, I have seen some people go through serious frustrations with the circles. And I'm not saying circles are bad. Circles are good. I'm also in a circle and I'm a big advocate of circles. But I have seen people go through serious frustration because, number one, I signed for you a loan, you refuse to pay, and I'm deducted that loan. And I feel I want to leave the circle. I just start your story times 3 times 4. This is your to-go place. You don't need people to guarantee you. People don't need to know you're taking loans. You can do everything by yourself without letting anybody know, because this endowment plan allows you to do that. Minimum to start is just 3,000 Kenya shilling. What are you still waiting for? I mean, 3,000 is just 100 bob per day. How much do you spend every day? Maybe more than that. Maybe 3 times than that. Maybe 3 times that amount. Maybe 10 times. I've had people who spend 5,000 every day. People who spend 10,000 every day. Yeah. So, this is a good amount this is a good plan you can work with. Remember, I'd said you can work with this plan in 2 ways. Number 1, you can use a goal. Tumetumia your aspect ya nyumba. That is how we arrived at 30,000. Again, the amount that you go for must be an amount you can comfortably contribute every month without struggle. That is how we arrived at 30k. If your goal is like that, like my own, and requires you to do 30,000 every month, and you cannot, remember the minimum is 3k. You can go for 10k. You can go for 20k. You can go for 15. You can go for 4,000. Just start somewhere. Start where you are. Okay? Number 2, you can use a percentage of your income, and this is 20% of your income. In this case, I'm using the rule called 50-30-20 budget rule. If you don't know about the 50-30-20 budget rule, we've already done that video. Niwewe tu hauja watch. Please go and watch angalia videos like 2 months ago. From now, today is 22nd November 2024, and see what video we did about 50-30-20 budget rule and be on the know. But the 20%, 50% goes to your need, 30% may go to your wants, 20% should strictly go to your saving. I've had people ask me, Natai, you can use 50-20-20-10 budget rule. 50-20-20 inamaanisha 50% goes to your needs, 20% may go to your want, 20% goes to your savings, and 10% of course to the Almighty through the church that you attend. Okay. What is there to add? An endowment plan is good plan, but what happens in case you default? You need to catch up, because already we have promised you 5 million, 5.1. So for us to be, or for that insurance company to be able to pay you that money, you must also have contributed 3.6 million. So ukidefault mwezi moja, you come and catch up. But some companies, I understand, they penalize, but there are those who do not penalize, and I'm happy to work with one that does not penalize. What else is there to say? You can pay ahead of time. In fact, if you can do an annual payment, the better. And then tunaonana next year. But you can join with 30, and maybe saa zingine busy na jipa una afford 50, pay ahead. Hata ukilipa 50 this month, and next month you also can afford another 50, pay. Be 3 to 6 months ahead, so that in case you ever default in future, you don't have the pressure of catching up. You can this money will already stand in for you. I'm talking about wakati umecontribute mbele. When you have not done upfront, you need to catch up, either slowly, clear the arrears, or delay maturity with the same period. You can come and pick from where you left. If you had defaulted like a whole year and you're feeling it's too much, pick from where you left, and then that 1 year is taken at the tail end and your maturity is delayed by 1 year. That saves you a lot of pressure. But instead of that, take an amount that is comfortable, automate the mode of payment, and try to pay ahead. Automating the mode of payment means, the first one you pay with M-Pesa. The second one, you can allow the insurance company, get from your salary or directly from your bank through standing orders, direct debit instructions, things like those. So that is how an endowment plan works. It's a good one. It has worked for me. It has come through for me in times I had emergencies. I couldn't wait for 2 days for my money to mature from money market. I needed money ASAP. So I ran to my first policy, which is already on the 6th year, and I was able to access money real quick. Nobody got to know about it, and I ran life. You get? I mean, doing things on your own without letting the whole world know what you are doing behind the curtain or behind the tent. That is it. I'm happy to introduce you to an endowment plan. Another advantage of taking an endowment plan is that if you are a taxpayer, you qualify for 15% of your contribution as tax relief. Imagine. This is what I mean. You are doing 30,000. How much is 15% of 30K? It's 4,500. You save 4,500 from your salary every month, from the tax you pay every month. Kama unakatangwa tax ya 10,000 every month, or pay ya 30,000 every month, imagine ina reduce you na 4,500, and that 4,500 you start receiving it every month. That is if this money is being deducted directly from your salary. That is why you need to talk to your HR to allow you to deduct you that money and remit to the insurance firm directly. You know what 4,500 means every year? Is it 4,000 is how much? Bobo, nifanyie 4,500 times 12. 100 times 12. Najua 4,000 ni 48,000. Ama ni 54,000? Oh, you know what 4,500 means? It means 54,000 every year. Imagine saving that money from going to the government, because once it hits government account, that is it. At a government account, once it is deducted from your salary, that's it. That is money gone. Boy bye. Okay? 54,000 times 10. That's 500,000, 510,000. And this is money that is just going with the wind like that. The wind is the government, which is not a bad thing, being a taxpayer. But in this highly taxed country, you need to save on tax. And these are areas you can save on tax. So if you're having an insurance policy that you're paying for yourself, that one that you the one that you enjoy every month is when the HR is deducting you, or the money is being gotten, or when we are getting directly the money from your payslip. If you're paying this money for yourself through M-Pesa, through bank, every time you're filing your returns, you need to ask your financial advisor for your tax relief certificate. You're given that relief certificate, and then when you're filing your returns, you indicate you have a life insurance and attach that certificate, and then you will wait for KRA to send you that money. There is no specific date they can send or month that I can point out, but this is the month that they send. They send at their own month, the one they wish to. That is why check-off mode of payment is the best. Those guys get to enjoy immediately. I think I've not skipped anything on endowment. I've received a question: what if I lose my source of income and I'm not able to continue? I tell you to just pause there. Pause there. As long as you're interested to continue, pause there and wait until you get another job. Then you can either clear the arrears, pick from where you left, or pay the arrears on installment. What if I don't want to continue? This is another question I've received. At least finish the first 36 months, the first 3 years. Once you're already 3 years, you can choose to stop contributing and wait for maturity. That way you don't lose any money. Okay, you get all your money plus bonus. The only time you can lose money is in case you decide to claim on the 5th year. Remember, it is a 10-year agreement, so in case you come on the 5th year, you'll be disadvantaging. Is there a word like disadvantaging? You would be bleaching the contract, and it will not be fair for the insurance firm. So that is why you lose almost 1/3 of your money from what you had contributed, plus even bonus. So the best thing is putting an amount that don't give you pressure, and then deciding, let me forget about this amount. Hii ni ya kujenga. This is to help me start a business. Let me tell you, 10 years is not a long time. We're in 2024. 2014 is just the other day. I mean, even in 2014, people were saying, hey, 10 years, you know. I recently approached a man in Parklands Market. I'd gone there this week. Ukiwa Parklands Market, sokoni, there's up there, there's pali, they make very good choma. So I went there to take a choma. And then nikipita hapo market, I stopped a guy and asked him, and I stopped a guy and told him there were two of them, they were neighbors. One was selling bananas, the other one was selling avocado and don melon. The banana one is a millennial. I could tell he's not a Gen Z, but he's a millennial young one. Akaniambia, hey, mi na prefer mattress banking because hey, economy, nini, story mingi. I tried to convince him, but then he'd made up his mind. Then the guy, I moved to the next person, and he told me, by the way, 10 years is not a long time. First of all, I asked him, do you have children? If you are comfortable speaking about that. He told me, yes, I have. I asked him if he has a child. He said, I have children. And the youngest one is 13 years. Kamwambia, wow. Then we're not going to talk about education planning. Let's talk about investment. Akaniambia, by the way, 10 years is not a long time. I don't mind. Because many years ago, almost 15 years ago, there was a friend of mine who told me, I have planted these trees. He was showing me his trees. I've planted these trees, and these trees they were a medium one. These are the trees I intend to take my kids to university with. He was telling me that time, he was still a young man. He laughed it off and asked himself, at the university, 10 years later, alimwambia, I want to harvest them after 10 years. And he laughed at 10 years. Sasa alikuwa ananiambia, mimi niliona huyu mzee hafikiri. Mimi siwezi fanya hizo kazi. Imagine, fast forward, it is more than 15 years ago. The guy harvested really well. Some, not all of them. He made good money, more than what he needed for school fees or something. And that is how this guy came to realize, haya, kumbe 10 years is not miaka mingi. I mean, hata ukiliza Ruto sahi 10 years ni mingi kwake. No, he would want 14. Even if you'd work with your goal, divide by 120 months, especially what is close to your heart, long term, close to your heart, you realize those things are very, very much capital intensive, and they need you to save a lot of money, which most people are not able to save. So, sweetheart, start where you are with what you have and watch yourself grow and flourish. That was it for today. I wish you well. I hope you learned something, and see you again on the next video.